Hello, my darlings. I hope you're all well and are having a fabulous day. In today's episode, I'm giving you a quick recap of Marisha's eviction interview. So first of all, before we go any further, I would like to apologise for the delay in uploading this video, but here we are right now. So click the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And without further ado, let's just get into it. As you all know, Marisha and Zizi were both evicted from the house. They are gone. And Marisha was interviewed first by AJ and Will. First of all, she came out of the house. She was really lively and she was really upbeat. She was dancing. She was giving it loads, pure energy. The stage was hers and she just seemed like she was buzzing. Anyway, she sat down for her interview with AJ and Will. And as they asked everybody, they were like, "Why do you think you're here out of all of the housemates?" And she was like, "You tell me why. I don't know why I'm here." Having a bit of a laugh, but ultimately she was like, "I don't know. I did the best I could. I entertained you all. I gave you some looks. I sang great songs. I don't know why I'm here, but I've had the time of my life." And I feel like that's consistent for everybody that's come out. They've all said that they've had the time of their life. AJ asked her which votes surprised her the most, and she said that Fern's nomination for her surprised her the most, but ultimately she chose Fern also, so she feels like they're even. One thing I will say about Marisha is she's fair. That's it. She's quite fair. I feel like everything she kind of says, she has a bit of a justification. Apart from the ekin-su thing, which was a bit dicey and spicy, but we'll get to that anyway. So they also said, you got a lot of slack for not putting yourself forward in the game of courage to vote yourself out. And she basically said she did it because she didn't want to go home, and it is as simple as that. And it was okay for her not to put herself up for nomination because she wanted to stay. And she said that she tried to give that advice also to Bradley. He was also one of the other housemates that didn't put himself forward in the game of courage, but he felt bad about it ultimately. She said that the nominations were her biggest fear, but ultimately she made it this far. She got to have the full experience. She was nominated, she was redeemed, she was punished, she went to prison. Literally had like a roller coaster of emotions while she was in there. She just feels like she got the full experience. So fast forward to the kissing booth, face-to-face nominations. It turns out that Fern influenced Marisha's vote for ekin-su. So ultimately, when Fern nominated ekin-su and said, well, we all know what she said. She basically said that ekin-su is playing a game and she's got many faces and she's not real at all. She's not being herself. And ultimately, she doesn't know who she is. Marisha said that kind of influenced her thinking. And she thought, well, if Fern's saying that about her, is she going to turn on me? Could she potentially, turn on me? Despite the fact that we formed this great friendship, ultimately we are in a game. And she said that that's what made her say the words she said to ekin-su. So I thought that was quite interesting. She did say that they'd patch it up and resolve the argument, but she realised how badly ekin-su felt because she said that ekin-su felt like she'd been betrayed. But it was more of a trauma response, reliving things that she's already been through, and it was very heightened. And I feel like we could kind of see that now, because all ekin-su kept saying at the time is everybody always betrays me, basically. AJ asked her if she would change anything about that night, and she said she doesn't know if she would. Ultimately, she was going to actually nominate Fern on that night, but what Fern said to her changed her mind and again led her to vote for ekin-su. Before I get into the next sip of tea, If you like this video and you have been liking my content thus far, please, please, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and subscribe to my channel, because honestly guys, it really, really helps me. Anyway, let's continue. They also asked if whether her friendships were genuine and or was it just part of a big game. And I feel like it was a shame for Marisha, because after that whole ekin-su situation with the nominations, everybody was very, very, very suspicious about her genuinity, because they found out that she was in this to win, which I found so odd because I thought, aren't you all in it to win? Do you know what I mean? But I feel like there's a difference between Americans and English people. I feel like English people are more reserved, so they're in it to win, but they're not going to say it out loud. Whereas the Americans, they're going to be bold and brash about it, you know? So
they got more say it how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. But basically, she did actually say that she loved the people in there, and you know, she almost separated the game from the friendship. So she knew she was in there to play a game, but also she just happened to form all of these wonderful friendships with people, games aside, and she just genuinely loved everybody and made a lot of connections. And to be fair, I feel like you could see that, because there wasn't one person that she didn't speak to. She literally worked the whole room. She was friends with the young ones, friends with the older ones. She went everywhere. And obviously, she mentioned about the fact that her and Zizi became really, really close friends. I think she said that Zizi was the sister she never knew she needed, and she could trust her the whole entire time. And you could see that they had a very, very close bond. She also said that Levi was great, and obviously ekin-su, despite everything, David and Bradley. It's almost as if to say she wanted to list everybody, but to be fair, all of the people that she did specify, I feel like we genuinely got a glimpse of her relationships with them. So they asked her, is it possible to make friends and play the game? So she said, well, it's kind of like a bit of a two-pronged thing. It's either you're in there making connections, making friends and being the personable person, or you're doing what you can do to stay in the house. And if you signed up to go on to Big Brother, you signed up to play a game. So at the end of the day, you are going to do the both, because it's going to happen automatically, because being in the Big Brother house is such an experiment in itself that ultimately you need to form those kind of bonds, because emotions are running high. You miss your family, you're away from society, you're stripped from all of your norms ultimately. So the both can happen, I feel like, is what she was trying to say. And I feel like there's a very good answer. And finally, they said, who do you want to win? And she said she wants Bradley to win. She said she doesn't know how he skirted past all the drama this whole time, but he has, and that he's an incredible guy. And she said despite the fact that she heard he voted for her, she still loves him anyway, and she wants him to win. And that was that. Check out my next video for a recap on Zizi's eviction interview, and I'll catch you in the next one. Mwah.